the highest point that you will get the skin without damaging the bacteria and enzymes in the skin. So up to 111 starts doing damage to the skin, in and around the skin. So 110 is the top. I've had many people, for example, I had a fellow who was about 62 years old, been on a diet since he was 57, and I kept telling him, you know, you got to do the hot baths, you got to do the hot baths. He went on to the diet because he was diagnosed with thyroid failure and prostate cancer. So he went to the doctor, got a prescription, was standing in line, and he watched all these people living on their medication. He says, I'm not doing this. So he went home. He got a call from this young architect friend of the family's who said, thank you for that book. That was really a great book. How's the diet working for you? He says, what are you talking about? He said, you sent me a book. He said, I sent you an architectural book. He said, no, you sent me 2 of them. In the package was this book on diet, which is called We Want to Live, by this guy named Aajonus Vonderplanitz, and you sent me the architectural book. And he said, it is so great. I've changed my whole life with this diet in just 3 months. And he said, well, send me back the book. I didn't mean to send that. He says, no, I've got it marked up. You have to get your own. So he got the book, went on the diet. And this guy, you know, he retired, multi-millionaire. But he retired because he couldn't work anymore. He was just a vegetable. All he could do was eat, sleep, and watch TV. Couch potato. So here at 62 years old, I get him to start doing the baths. And he wants to go overboard. Most people like to go overboard. So in my book, it said 101 degrees. So that's what it was supposed to say, but it got inverted. So it said 110 degrees in the book, and it was supposed to say 101, because I hadn't experimented with it enough to tell people go up to 110 degrees. I was going to work my way into it, you know, to see the highest temperature for extended period. So I got a call from him 3 months later, and he said, I can do nothing after I get out of the tub the next day. All I feel like doing is eating and sleeping and watch TV. Nothing has changed. And I said, well, how are you doing the diet? And he went over everything. That's pretty good. Not exactly as I stipulated, but that's good. And it shouldn't cause you any problems, making things a little slower. And I said, and how are you doing the baths? He says, I do them every day. And I said, and how much time? He says, 90 minutes a day, sometimes 2 hours a day. And what's the temperature? And he said, 110. And I said, oh, my God, it's supposed to be 101. He said, no, it's 110 in your book. So this is 2 years after the book was, printed. That remake was 2005, so this is 2007. And so I looked in the book, and sure enough, misprinted to 110. And I thought, oh, fuck, what did I do? How many people have I misled? And all the reports came back good. So then I started investigating the temperature at which the skin became damaged. It was 111. So I thought, oh, good mistake. Good mistake. Okay, so it worked. So I said, well, just stop doing the baths for about 3 weeks and see what happens. You probably melted a lot of stuff out of there, and it's so hot for such a long period, your body just needs to recuperate from that much heat for that much time of a day, up to 2 hours a day. He said, sometimes I've fallen asleep, and I did that in mine too, but I thought, I'd been on the diet a long time, so I wasn't worried about me. I slept sometimes 4 hours in a hot tub. It was 104, 105 degrees. No problem with me. So after that 3 weeks, he had so much energy that he started an international stem cell company. He still works. He's 77 now. No, he'll be 78 this year. And he works 14, 16-hour days. That's how much you can help. This guy just does it for 7 days. And the change in him. You've got to get those plastic molecules out of your system, out of your way. And the only way you can do that is at least 105 degrees for depending upon how much you have in you. If you were a heavy chip eater, donut eater, cereal eater, it's going to take you a lot longer. Could take you 10 years. But you still need to get them out of the way if you want to progress toward better health. Yes?
So once they melt, do they just go into the...
Once they melt, they go into the connective tissue to be perspired out, if they were in the lymphatic system. If they were already under the skin, you perspire them out in the bath. Layer by layer. You could have, let's say, let me see how yours is. He has none. But you still need to